Okay, hello everyone. Hello everyone. Guys, offline, can you hear? Yes, you do. At long last, we start our international speech contest of Dnipro Hills Toastmasters Club. I'm very happy to see so many people here in the venue and people online. I'm pretty sure you can see yourself on the wall and everyone sees you. Well, tries, and this is our venue. Say hi, wave your hands. Let's get some reactions. Okay, so for people online, I will go over some technical stuff, and for people offline as well to know what we're gonna have and how we're gonna have it technically. So first of all, we will not be able to hear people online while the microphone is on, while I am stage is talking. In order, when you will be asked a question or while you will present something, I will highly advise you to wait 5 seconds before we mute the microphone and turn on the speaker, which you can see right here, and then and only then you will be heard. So in order to not have any confusion, so that your first words are not being heard, wait 5 seconds. I highly encourage you to do so. For the other part is, since we cannot have everyone and we cannot see reaction of people online, it would be nice if you can share some emojis or wave your hand whenever the speakers here is talking. I will make sure everyone sees you after the speech here offline. Now, I think this is all I wanted to say about technical stuff. Can you help me? Good. It's fantastic that we're able to continue and have this tradition of having contests every single year despite the war. And last year, I remember we had one person that cleans and like won every single award. I hope that this year we're not going to have the same, but we're going to have a fierce competition nonetheless. We have a strong field of participants who are very eager to share their stories and their evaluations. And we have a charming chair lady who will conduct this meeting for us all. It's Vera Oleneva. Please welcome her with a round of applause. You can.
Vadim, we're not here, Vera. Vadim. We're not hear you.
What about now?
Can you hear me now? Yes, I can hear myself. That's wonderful. Okay, so those two people who will take the first and the second places today in both contests will represent the Dnipro Hills Club on the area level. Area contest will take place on 1st of April online. So today we will definitely know who will be representing the Dnipro Hills, proudly representing Dnipro Hills on the area contest. According to the agenda, we will start with the evaluation contest and then proceed with the international contest. And now I would like to briefly inform you of the rules of the evaluation contest. So first of all, In order to be eligible and to participate in the club contest, a member must be a paid member of the club. The club should be in good standing, and the member must complete first 2 levels of pathways or have the Distinguished Toastmaster Award. This is crucial. Since we're fine with that, we are moving on to announcing the timing rules. Speakers of the evaluation contest will have from 2 to 3 minutes. The speaker would be disqualified if the speech would be shorter than 1 minute 30 seconds or longer than 3 minutes 30 seconds. We have 2 beautiful timers here present in the room, Nadia and Oля Mushket. They will be showing the cards, and also we have Vyacheslav Naumov, who will be the timer for the online participants. So the timers will show the green card on 2 minutes. The card would stay displayed for 30 seconds. Yellow card would be showed at 2 minutes 30 seconds, and it will stay displayed for 30 seconds. The red card would be showed at 3 minutes, and it will stay displayed for the rest of your performance. So dear speakers, please note that the timers are not allowed to wave the card when you're moving to the border of 3 minutes 30 seconds. Okay, then another rule. We will hear the speech of the secret speaker. No one knows who is he or she, and we will find it out a bit later. But after we hear the speech of the secret speaker, the participants of the evaluation contest will have 5 minutes for their preparation. Considering that we are having in this restaurant only 1 room, and for speakers to prepare, they need either to stay here or to go outside. Therefore, I would kindly ask all the audience to keep quiet for 5 minutes after the secret speech, so that our participants will have the possibility to prepare for the contest. The same goes for the online participants. Vadim Yudenko will help us with moving them to the special room where they would have their 5 minutes for preparation. After that, after 5 minutes is over, our timers will indicate that the speakers of the evaluation contest will be kindly asked to go outside. Do not leave, please. Just go outside for a second and wait there for your turn to talk. The first speaker would stay here and be ready to talk. We've already conducted draw during the briefing, and let me please announce the order of speakers of the evaluation contest. So the first speaker would be Nataly Parubocha. The second one, Timur Berezhnoy. Third one, Lesia Yurchyshyn. Fourth, Helliwell. And fifth, Liudmyla Kushch. The order is also copied in the messages of the Zoom account, so you can find it there too. After every speech, we will have 1 minute of silence for the judges to complete their ballots. So I kindly ask all the audience to again keep quiet during this minute so that we have proper time and judges have proper time to fill in their evaluation. At the end of this meeting, our timers will show us the red card, which means that the next speaker is ready to proceed. We also have a person who will be acting as the surgeon to terms for our participants. It's Oля Borysuk, who will be dragging, I wanted to say drag people out. Well, I'm not dragging. She will be helping them to go outside and telling them when to come back. After the last speaker of the evaluation contest, the judges will have 2 minutes to complete their evaluation ballots finally. After that, our dear counters, Oля Borysuk and Dmitry Bogdanovskyi, will collect the ballots and we will proceed to the next parts of the contest. Again, I would like to remind to you, dear online participants, about the 5-second rule. Better even to make it 7 seconds. It's a 7 magic number, 7 seconds. So please wait for 7 seconds after you will be announced, because we need to switch on the mic and the speaker so that we do not lose the precious words that you will start your speech with. The speaker would be announced in the following way. The name would be announced twice. So when you will be called on the stage, like imagine that I am the evaluation contest participant, it would be announced Vera Oleneva, Vera Oleneva. And after the second time, you can applause or to make digital reactions for the online participants. So I guess that's all from my side, from the official side. And we are now ready to announce the secret speaker. Do you think that he is here with us right now? Yes, of course, he's here. And so please welcome the secret speaker with the title, Just Give a Chance, Dmitry Bogdanovskyi. Just give a chance.
Thank you, Mark. Microphone. Yeah, there you can make. Okay. Don't touch the button. Okay. Don't touch the button. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Do you hear me? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy today to be here, and I want to tell some story. There is veterinary hospital near my house. This hospital helps to homeless animals. It vaccinates, sterilize, and treats them. And my mother has a big heart, and she really likes different animals. And every time when she sees some new animal in our area, she brings it to this hospital, and we decided that we will pay for everything. We will vaccinate it, we will sterilize, and we will treat it. Because we decided it will help not only animal, also it will help our area. Because we want to be in safe place where won't be any dangerous animals for people or even for other animals. Yeah, and sometimes ago, something like 1 year ago, when war only started, we bring one new animal to this hospital. That was a small kitty that the owners left it on the street because they decided to leave the city very fast, and they didn't have any chances to create with them. So we get this kitty to the hospital, and as every time we decided to do everything, but we had one problem. After all these procedures, operations, the hospital needed to leave this kitty in their place for 7 days or something like that, because they need to be sure that kitty is healthy and it don't need anything else. But at that day, hospital was full of other animals, and they didn't have a chance to leave it even for several days. So we decided that we will take this kitty at home for just for 7 days, and then if everything will be okay, we will back it back. And we at that time we didn't know that it is a moment that we decided to get it to home. We give it a small chance to steal our heart. We bring it at home a small, fluffy, cute piece of black teeth, a lot of other things that looks like kitty sometimes, like kitty. We bring it home, and that was a new experience for our family. We already had a cat for something like 7 years old, maybe even more. But that other cat, because our old cat, it's some other person with other characters. That's not you decide when you want to pet it. That she decides when she wants you to pet her, and that she decide when you do with her something. Like you play with her, no, that not you decide, that she decide. But new kitty was a differently other person, differently other animals, because it is very, very active. It's play every time, every each other second it was in some other place. Right now she's in chair. Other time she's here like me. No, she already at the window. No, she's on the somewhere on the top of the roof, something like that. And that was very cute that was something new for us. And we even didn't notice how time passed. And 7 days left like 1 minute, something like that. And that was time where we needed to decide what will be next. We will bring it back or we will left it in our family. That was really choice because we already make a lot of for animal. Be honest, when you care about some animal, when you bring it to hospital, it's already a very big thing because not a lot of people do it. And it's okay when you decided that you don't want to have it at home because it's your choice. You choose who will be your family. But that kitty was very wonderful, and we decided to leave it in our house. That was very great decision because this kitty make our life more brighter in that dark time. So what I want to say, ladies and gentlemen, give pets chance to change your heart, to change your opinion about them. Maybe you bring some cat at home and then you will just make it a good thing. You just make it healthy. You just make it life more better. Just if you won't decide to leave it in your house. But if you will decide to live with you, you make a great thing, a great decision not only for cat, but for you too. So give it chance. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Dear audience, dear participants, now you have 5 minutes to complete your preparation for the evaluation contest. Everyone else, I kindly ask you to keep quiet and not disturb our speakers. The timers will indicate when the time is over. Thank you. The time is up. 5 minutes are over. And we will now proceed with the evaluation contest. But before we do, just a few quick reminders. Dear online participants, please make sure that you wait for 5-7 seconds before you start. All of the participants, the information is for you. The timing will start with your first verbal or non-verbal communication. So please remember about it. Now, the Sergeant at Arms, I kindly ask you, both Sergeant at Arms online and offline, to guide participants of the contest outside the room. Sergeant at Arms, please make sure that you take away the papers of preparation. Wonderful, thank you very much. And the online Sergeant at Arms, make sure that the participants are not writing anything during while they are waiting for their participation. The first speaker of the evaluation contest is here in the room, but while we wait for the participants to leave the room, just a quick word, dear Chief Judge Liudmyla Kushch, could you please confirm that all the judges are present and they're eligible to participate in the contest, to evaluate? Thank you very much. Okay, I see that only first participant of the contest is here in the room. Therefore, please welcome Nataly Parubocha. Nataly Parubocha.
It's not the starting time. I'm just picking it. Okay. What a touchy story has Dima told us. Please give him a round of applause for his bravery. Because he is from not English-speaking club, and you should be brave to deliver a speech in front of such a huge international audience. Thank you so much. What do you like about this speech? I love the subject choice because it is familiar to everyone in this audience and also online because some of us are abroad, some of our members are not in Kyiv. I love those cute discoveries about that kitten. It was nice and it was so touchy to hear that and to witness you telling us about her. I appreciate your gestures when you were pointed at different directions to show how she was sitting over there and suddenly she appeared there. That was really nice. And I appreciate your gestures weren't repeatable. And I also like the conclusion. It was pretty strong, not too long. That was really good. And what I liked that it had call to action. Not every speaker has that call to action in his or her speeches, but you, Dima, had. And that was great. Also, I like your voice. It was loud enough. And I can hear it, hear the speech, everything sitting over there. So that is good for these premises. And what would I suggest you to make it fluctuate more? To vary, to speak, to whisper or speak louder, to attract even more attention from us. Also, I would suggest you add more drama to your speech. Why not starting it like asking an audience, have you ever faced the need to make hard decisions? I had when the war came to Kiev, and then the story about coming to the shelter and so on. That would grab even more attention. So what would I suggest? To a bit improve your pronunciation. Because if you are not really sure how to pronounce the word war, not war, but war, or the word procedures, just look into the dictionary, not everything, of course, because we're not native speakers, but a few words, because they're really easy to get. All in all, that was really great and really touchy speech, and it made us richer and I think more good and nice people. Thank you so much, and passing the stage to our chair lady.
Thank you very much. And now we have 1 minute of silence for the judges to complete their ballots. One minute of silence is over, and we are ready to hear the speech of the second participant of the evaluation contest. Please welcome Timur Berezhnoy. Timur Berezhnoy.
It doesn't fit, come on. Will it work this way? It's so great to see Dima at our contest today, because I like Dima back several years ago when he did this magician speech, do you remember? And it's my pleasure to evaluate you today, because you have special speaker's charisma. But as usual, my evaluation will be balanced, like a scale. We have one side of the scale with pluses and the other with minuses. With pluses, we will start. What did I like about your speech was that it was a personal story. You didn't tell us general things as some speakers do, but you told story from your personal life. The story that was an incentive for you to deliver the speech is great. Second, good point, that story was very inspirational. It was about animals. Animals is one of the dearest things in this life. We all love kittens. And the story about kitten will not let anyone untouched in their heart, of course. And it's great that you made a very inspirational conclusion that we should be nicer and we should let this in our heart. We should change our heart sometimes. Let someone else in our heart. That's great. But we'll talk also about the minuses, the other part of the scale. First of all, it's your voice and intonations. You know, I always like to sit in the back rows and I listen to speakers. I understand whom I can hear and whom I can hear barely. For you, it was a bit difficult to hear when I was sitting back there. And you could add more intonations in your voice. Show something with your voice, like small kitten. Or my mom said, no, what have you done? show this all with your voice. Don't be monotonous. Also, would have worked greatly, this is second point to improve, a visual aid. Show us this kitten. Show how it looked. Show how your previous cat looked. The cat that was already. I would love to see them, really, and most of people, I think, too. And finally, to make a speech really great, you could add a transformation. Transformation, it was in your speech, but you didn't accentuate it well. You could add more drama, like your mom says, no, we will never leave this kitten, and you say, yes, we will never, and then something changes, and she says, yes, we will leave this kitten. So the person transformed, and people, wow, they transformed. So use this advice in your speech, it will be even better. But I want to praise you in the end that, as far as I remember, you were in a Russian-speaking club, but now you speak English in front of us. It's such a great event, and your English is very good. And I really enjoyed your speech. Thank you, and good luck. Microphone.
Thank you very much. And now the judges would have 1 minute of silence to complete their ballots. Thank you. One minute of silence is over, and I have to ask our online surgeon at arms if the next participant is in the room and ready to talk, right? Wonderful. I would like to remind our online participants that after their name would be announced, they have to wait for 7 seconds. Great. So please welcome the third participant, Lesia Yurchyshyn. Lesia Yurchyshyn.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you all today on the contest, and especially I am very pleased to see today's our speech from Dmitry Bogdanovskyi. Dmitry, actually, I know you for a long time, and actually it was the first time when I heard such a touchy story from you about Kitty. Actually, one of the point we always scheduled, so we monitor about the correctness of the grammar and some other things. And I personally wanted to say thanks to you for choosing actually this this word, kitty, because it's not cat but kitty, and we on our inner voice we immediately imagine that it's very something very small, something very pleasant, and we already have some feelings towards this animal. So thanks you for telling actually this story and choosing actually this word to express your thoughts and etc. About the speech development, of course, we have some opening, we have some body, we have some conclusion. And I just wanted to maybe ask you to next time, for example, maybe much more catchy opening, because we just starting to tell about hospital, animal, about your mother, and for audience maybe also can be more attaching when you asked them, for example, how they how other feelings towards animals or towards cats, pets, and etc. So it can be some catchy thing or the opening which follow, which ask audience to follow everything you wanted to tell us. And in this point about speech development, when you are making some very much more powerful opening, in this case, you can make your conclusion also with more details. For example, you tell about that it can be good thing which makes you happier, healthier, and decision for you too. Maybe just one more powerful example which really shows how this kitty helps you or your mother or all your relatives during all the time. So think more about the speech development, about opening and conclusion part. And about something another, your story is really looks like a good storytelling, and for storytelling you use speaking area, so it was good. You use your hand gesture, it was also good. And maybe just one point to use volume on some part of your speech just to emphasize something you wanted to tell us more. So all in all, thanks you for choosing this story, for telling it to us, and hope next time we will hear you too also. Thanks to everyone.
Thank you very much. And now the judges will have 1 minute to complete their ballots. Thank you. One minute of silence is over, and we are ready to hear the speech of the next participant. Again, I would like to remind you to wait for 5-7 seconds before you start talking. Please welcome Eric Helliwell. Eric Helliwell.
Thank you very much. And thank you, Dmitry, for that great speech. I wanted to say one of the first things that just took me in this was the topic itself, because it's a sort of a very emotional topic and one that's really prescient and important to us right now. The animals are really sometimes the ones left behind in this war. I've seen so many stories, and I've seen personally people porting pets with them, really this tight emotional bond with their animals that's very, very important to remember, especially in a time of war, that they are a sentient being and really important to keep community with as well, because it's part of us being whole. And it also happens all throughout, even in other times of war. And I see it in the US as well, that people get displaced or whatever, and they're separated, from their animals. But that's a very good point, and just an important one about the topic. What I also liked when you talked about cats coming home with you, you really got into the characteristics of the cats, and you use a lot of good adjectives as well that sort of led to this bonding part with the animal that you're going to lead into as the next part of your speech. This cute black thing walking around that is basically choosing you to be its housemate, not the other way around. And I think a lot of us that have had cats. I've had up to 3 before at one time, and it really is like that they kind of have their own personality and decision making in it, and you're just sort of going along for the ride. And you also talked about the humanity of the cat, in becoming a member of the household, which led naturally into your bonding section over there of how you started out being sort of the hero, or your family, in taking in this cat or fostering this cat. But in reality, the cat sort of becomes the protagonist and the hero of this whole thing, because you're the one that's getting this emotional reward and satisfaction out of it. And so it's really a redeeming aspect to it that takes the user on this journey that they didn't know where it was going to be. Was it going to be a good experience or not? And so I think it's very uplifting. So overall, very good theme of the topic and where you went with it. And the only other thing, maybe some more physical characteristics I would think about using when you're doing your descriptions, maybe like kind of showing the cat rubbing against you, whatever. And then just a current update, maybe the last thing, give a current update, how the cat's doing. But other than that, great speech, love to hear it, and appreciate it. Take care.
Thank you very much. And now the judges would have their minutes to complete their ballots. Thank you. The minute of silence is over, and we are ready to hear the last but not least participant. Please welcome Liudmyla Kushch. Liudmyla Kushch.
Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to evaluate Dmitro's speech. To start with, I'd like to say thank you. The most impressive part of your speech was a story, a personal and really touching, because almost all of us faced this scene a year ago when the war started. Animals which were abandoned in the streets. And what I'd like to add, one more thing, listening to you, I felt like sitting in the kitchen with a friend who's sharing about things which are important. Your key structure was another strong point, speech structure. It was a smooth flow from the beginning till the end, and it made me feel comfortable. What can I add? There are some things which might be a little bit improved, in my opinion. While I was listening to your story, it was touching. First, you told about abandoned animals. Then you told about the family, your family, which helped. And that small animal that became the part of your family. And there, I would like you to implement a little bit more emotions. To be more sad at the beginning. To be a bit more cheerful in the middle, and at the end, while you were doing a strong call to action, to show it with your voice, to show it with your gestures. I felt a bit lack of gestures, which might have done your speech even more powerful that you did it. I wish you success on your way and looking forward for your next speeches. Thanks one more time.
Thank you very much. And now we have 2 minutes for the judges to complete their ballots. Meanwhile, while judges are doing their job, I kindly ask all of the participants, all of the listeners of the contest to vote for the best evaluator in their opinion. You have small pieces of paper on your table, so please use them and write the name of the best evaluator in your opinion. Well, the one that you had on the table, no difference. For the online participants, Vadim will now share the Google form. Yeah, I know. I'm just announcing it. So for the online participants, we're going to have an online form that is already in Zoom. So please do vote for the best evaluator and we will count your voice. And now let's give a bit of silence for the judges to complete their job. I see that 2 minutes are over, therefore I kindly ask the accounters and the chief judge to collect the ballots from the judges as well as some votes for the best evaluator. And now, dear friends, we announced that we're going to have a 5 minutes break, a tiny break before the international contest, so that you can have a bit of fresh air or maybe to make a cup of coffee for yourself. We're going to meet here, the same place, the same as in Zoom, in 5 minutes. So please be on time. Thank you.